Wouldn't you know it, folks, by sheer dumb luck, another perfect phone call from Donald Trump has now been leaked to the country, and it shows just how desperate and despicable Donald Trump really is to win this election. This phone call, of course, I'm sure most people have seen the video. If not, you can find it in the link in the description of this video. But I'm not going to show it here because I'm not going to show all that propaganda. However, in the video, it is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. speaking on the telephone to Donald Trump, both men running for president. One is the independent candidate, one is the Republican candidate. And the phone call, according to the New York Times, was actually arranged by none other than former disgraced Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson. So the two men were talking, and Donald Trump went on his big diatribe about how he hates vaccines and the needles are so, the vaccines are so big, he says, like he watches a lot of babies getting vaccinated, I guess. But either way, there's one thing in that conversation that really stands out. And that is when Donald Trump told Kennedy this: I would love you to do stuff. And I think it'd be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. Now, Trump did not go into more detail, but it's very obvious what Donald Trump is suggesting here, right? It doesn't take, Sherlock Holmes to figure out what Trump is trying to get Kennedy to do. He wants him to drop out of the race, endorse him, and he is kind of dangling like, I'd love for you to do stuff. Maybe you could be in the cabinet. Maybe you could be an advisor. Maybe there's a job for you somewhere, right? That is exactly what it seems like Donald Trump is doing. Obviously, because he does not say those words, we can't say that that is definitely what he's doing, but it sure as hell sounds like it, right? And the reason Trump is doing that is because Donald Trump is terrified of what Kennedy's candidacy is going to do to his election results. As it shows right now, the polls have shown for months, actually, Kennedy is sucking away more Republican voters than he is Democratic voters. And in all 7 of those swing states where it's Trump versus Biden and Trump is winning, when you throw Kennedy into the mix, suddenly Biden picks up a lot of those states, and then he would end up with enough electoral college votes to win re-election. So Kennedy is seriously hurting Donald Trump's chances of winning. So Trump needs him gone. And the best way to get him gone is to say, listen, I agree with you on all these, crazy things you say. So trust me, I'll give you a job. I'd love for you to do stuff, but you know what you got to do in return. Now, at this point, obviously, I think Kennedy understands he's not going to win. Like, that is just not going to happen. But here's the thing. As a lot of people know, I have worked for Ring of Fire for 20 years now. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was one of the original hosts of Ring of Fire back when it was a weekly radio program. Now, Kennedy has been gone from Ring of Fire for probably about 10 years. He left, and that's when he went full on with the vaccine stuff, which I completely disagree with him on all fronts. But during the time when I worked with him at Ring of Fire, he was a progressive, right? He was as liberal could be. He wasn't a conspiracy theorist. He wasn't pushing them certainly like he does now. He wasn't using right-wing talking points. He was a liberal Democrat through and through. So I want to appeal right now to that guy that I used to know. Do not take Trump's offer. First of all, I don't think he'll follow through with it. I absolutely do not think for a second he will put you in power even if you drop out right this minute and endorse him. He will screw you over like he screwed everybody else over. And that leads me to point number 2, Bobby. Look at everybody from Donald Trump's previous administration. Look at everybody from his private life. You look at all of those people, and the best case scenario for the people who worked for Trump in the past is that they disappeared and faded off into obscurity. That's the best case. The rest of them, most of them, facing criminal charges. Nobody got a happily ever after. Okay? So you can take Trump up, you can make the deal with the devil if you want, but if you think this ends well for you, then you haven't been paying attention to the history of the last 8 years. Because anybody who gets in bed with Trump winds up regretting it one way or another, whether they want to admit it or not. They do not get a happily ever after. And that same fate would await you, Bobby, if you take up Trump on this absolutely ridiculous little offer that he's dangling in front of you. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.